Greetings, fellow Earthlings and viewers across the World Wide Web. This is Tune 215, and right now we're in the state of Pennsylvania. We're currently in the city of Philadelphia. Today we're going to be doing a virtual tour of the East Kensington hood here in North Philadelphia, located in the North Philadelphia East section of North Philly. East Kensington is not to be confused with its sister neighborhoods that carry the same name: West Kensington, Old Kensington, and Traditional Kensington, aka Upper Kensington. Right now we're under Kensington Ave. We're traveling southbound on Kensington Ave. The crisis is behind us. It's located in Upper Kensington. We're at the intersection of Kensington Ave and Huntingdon. We're going to be making a left-hand turn shortly so that I can show you guys a more gentrified portion of the Kensington neighborhoods. We're passing Kensington Mini Mart on our right-hand side. We're passing the 1800 block of Hazard Street on our right-hand side. We have a dozen or more Asian-owned businesses, Vietnamese restaurants, nail salons, massage and facial shops, and more. We're making a left-hand turn on Sargent. On our right-hand side, we have the Sankofa Freedom Academy that was made in the old Kelly's Corner building. We're going to start from the upper half of East Kensington, and then we're going to work our way down to the lower half. The lower half is more gentrified than the upper half, which is closer to Lehigh Avenue. We're at Sargent and Jasper. We have the 2400 block of Jasper to our right-hand side and the 2599 block to our left-hand side. We have a few new homes. You can see one on our left-hand side. We have Henry A. Brown Elementary School on our right-hand side, this brownstone building. We're traveling about 11 miles an hour. We have another home on our left that had a nice second-floor balcony. They must have just added that. Check out this building on my left. City Cycling, coming soon on the corner of Emerald and Sargent Street. It's a brand new building. We have Almonte Food Market on our right-hand side. So we're traveling eastbound. What we'll probably do for the duration of the upper half of East Kensington is we'll do eastbound, westbound, and then we'll start doing some northbound, southbound, which will take us towards the lower portion of East Kensington. We have some new buildings over here on our left-hand side on the corner. You see them? On our right-hand side, we have the Penalty Box Sports Bar. We're at Coral and Sargent. We're going to continue traveling forward. We're approaching the 2500 block of Kern Street. Again, a brand new building on our left-hand side. Gentleman on our right-hand side is working on a property as we speak. That's why that truck was backed up onto the sidewalk. He was doing some cement work. We're passing Arcadia Street, which is a no outlet, but that whole entire block of Arcadia is new. A bunch of new properties. All right, we are approaching Frankfurt Ave. We're gonna continue forward about another block and a half. Now, the borderline of the East Kensington neighborhood stops at Trenton Avenue, which we will be approaching shortly. Now, the neighborhood that lies after Trenton Ave is Old Richmond. We're passing Collins, Sargent and Collins. Old Richmond is also right next to the Fishtown neighborhood, as well as East Kensington. East Kensington is located next to Fishtown also. Check this out on our right, new buildings. So right now we're approaching Trenton Ave. If we cross over Trenton Ave, we will no longer be in East Kensington. So we're gonna make a left-hand turn. Now, I'm not a big fan of this street. Normally I don't like coming through the street, but I'm taking one for the team upon all of the other ones that I've took for the team. The reason why I don't like coming through the street is because it's cobblestone. Cobblestone kind of does a number on the suspension, loosens up stuff, causes problems and all sorts of mechanical failures. And as of recently, I just got finished repairing an expensive mechanical failure. Fortunately, I was able to do the labor myself, but it looks like I have another mechanical failure on the way that has to do with the power steering system. So I've been trying to figure that out. And that all began happening when I started taking the tours throughout these neighborhoods. We're passing Hazard. We're on Trenton Avenue in Hazard. There's a nice little skate park over here on my left-hand side. It wasn't always there when I was growing up, but they made it within the last decade and a half. And I think it's one of the coolest additions to this part of Philadelphia. There was a skate park in Northeast Philly on Torresdale Ave that I used to visit every once in a while with my buddies. And then there was the homemade skate park in FDR Park in South Philly. But this is the first one that's located in the northern portion of the city. That's an actual official skate park. All right, we're at Huntington and Trenton Ave. I'm gonna make this left-hand turn on the 2100 block of Huntington. There's a preschool located on my right-hand side, a playground located on my left-hand side. We have Jiu-Jitsu on our right-hand side at the SAS building, adult and kid classes available. A lot of these two-story homes on our left and on our right are original buildings from the area. We're passing Martha Street. Now we're passing Collins. We're on Huntington and Collins. We have a brand new property on my right-hand side. You guys can price this out if you want. The address is 2103 East Huntington, Philadelphia, PA. You can Google that property that we just passed. We're passing Amber. We have a 18-wheeler that's reversing. He's trying to turn on a block that doesn't look too wise to turn on, my friend. I think you're stuck in a tight spot because, let me reverse. I'm gonna reverse for this guy. Driving one of those rigs is not easy. That's a 60-foot plus long rig. And he's trying to turn on a spot where, my friend, that's not gonna be a feasible turn. And to be honest, I think he's kind of stuck because if you go forward anymore, you're gonna hit Kensington. Kensington has a height limit, Kensington Ave, and that's gonna leave him in a jam. His tags read Maine, so he's from the upper northeast portion of the country. Got a chance to visit Maine. There was a lot of greenery. And if there's a car parked on the corner, he's also gonna be in a jam too. If he goes up Frankfurt, I don't foresee where he's gonna turn at. If he makes a left over here on Frankfurt and travels southbound, maybe York Street. No, not even, because they put the roundabout on York Street. Is he gonna try to go straight? No, he's really gonna try to go through Frankfurt. He's gonna hold us up too, which is very unfortunate because we're running time here. Is he gonna go straight? He's gonna go straight. I bet. So he's gonna go straight. Again, I don't know how he's gonna get out of it if he goes straight because there's not many turning options when we go straight. All right, we're stuck at this red light. It is what it is. Look at this guy said, "What red light?" And he went right through it, Mr. BMW. On our left-hand side, we have Seven Swords Tattoo, established in 2014. Tattoo company on our left-hand side. We're next to the 5 bus stop on our right-hand side. I see GNC Grocery. Oh yeah, we're next to Fiora's, Shake, Steak, and more. I believe that was once a Shake Shack. I don't know if Fiora's is like a branch of Shake Shack, but I swore when they originally opened that little spot on our left, I've never eaten there, but I've heard about it from my buddies. They said it was a pretty good spot. We're passing the 2500 block of Kern Street. So there goes the 18-wheeler in front of us. I'm kind of concerned. I don't know if I want to go any further because then we're going to get stuck behind him again, but we got to continue our eastbound, westbound. We're passing Coral, Huntington and Coral. He might be able to get under Kensington Ave. I'll be honest with you. If he can get under Kensington Ave with no height restrictions, he can make a little slight right on what's that, B Street, and he'll be on Lehigh Ave, and then he's good. He's good to go. We're passing Braddock Street. These are all new on my right-hand side. The 3 stories on my left, they're original. Different color brick than normal row homes in the area. They're more of a dark burgundy, black, and like purplish brick. We're at Emerald and Huntington. Huntington, Emerald, little park on our right-hand side. They got doggy bags and stuff available, which is cool. Not every park in the area has doggy bags. Doggy bags are used to pick up the dog poop or feces. There's a house for sale on my right-hand side, 1919 Huntington, which is an original house from the area. So I'm going to try to pass this gentleman because there's a 13-foot height limit. This truck might just be 14 feet. If it's 14 feet, my friend, you're gonna have a long work day ahead of yourself. Yeah, he decided to stop because I'm sure that he read this height limit thing. Yeah, he's gonna have a tough day. You know what I've seen truckers do when they get stuck? It might sound silly, but they release the air from their tires to give them some inches in clearance. On our left-hand side, check it out. Those two properties next to the L with the balconies up top, they're relatively new. They made them within the last 10 years. See, I would say, no, he ain't gonna make it. No, he's gonna be stuck here. This clearance in front of us is a no-go zone. Check it out. That church right there in front of us, you got people camping out right next to it. They're camping out right next to the church, ladies and gentlemen. So I can go left or I can go right. If we cross over Kensington Ave, we'll be in West Kensington. I don't want to do that because I know it'll be a bit repetitive. I've already covered West Kensington. This is part 7 of our Kensington mini series. I did 7 parts of the Kensington area consecutively. I'm going to cover all 4 neighborhoods which carry the name Kensington for 2023. So we're going to take this a little further. We already made a left here. I don't know if you remember. Remember? On our right-hand side, we got delis. These are all the Asian businesses that I was referring to earlier. We can make a left coming up here. We're going to make a left on Cumberland Street. You guys can get a chance to see Kensington High School, the original Kensington High School. We got Black Tire Shop on our right. This Family Dollar in front of us was just made recently, within the last decade. It used to be a part of the school on our left when it was Mariana Bersetti, but now it is a dollar store. I guess they bought, because it was a basketball court there for the school, and I guess they bought the property. And that dollar store has been robbed a handful of times since it's been open, which hasn't been long. Some original houses on our right. Then we have some brand new ones for sale on our right-hand side. 1838, ladies and gentlemen. Brand new property for sale over here at the intersection of Jasper and Cumberland. That's 1838 East Cumberland Street, Philadelphia, PA. Somebody passed away right here on my left-hand side, a female. You see where these new houses are on my left? They're actually built on the land where she passed away at. There used to be a memorial there, but I guess they decided to move it. Let me allow this vehicle behind me to pass us just so that our speed won't be influenced. New houses on our left, completely new. New houses. Lots on our right and new house on our right. 1936, 1939, 1941. These addresses sound like years that people were born. We're next to the 39 bus stop. We're at Emerald and Cumberland. We're traveling eastbound. Now, I've covered East Kensington dozens of times. I would at least say at least a good half a dozen to a dozen at a time. I guess I can't put the S on dozen because a dozen is just 12. I don't think I covered this area 24 times. So a good dozen times I've covered East Kensington roughly throughout the years, walking and driving. So I've did eastbound, westbound, southbound, northbound. I just haven't did it for 2023, hence why we're here right now. So you guys can see the new changes. We're at Coral and Cumberland. That building on my right is brand new. You see the guy just came out of it. He looks like he's an electrician. He has a wire in his pocket. And they're doing electrical work and all of that. They're still doing the building. Kensington High School on our left-hand side, ladies and gentlemen. This was once an all-girls school, if I'm correct. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But back in the early days, in the early 1900s, this was once an all-girls school. Now it is both genders. On the right, there's 2 brand new houses that were made on a lot that was there where a guy used to have a bunch of scrap. He used to collect scrap and put them in that property, but they built houses on the lot. And on my right, Amber and Cumberland. Those are brand new houses. On our left, we're passing Martha Street. There used to be a little pizzeria here. It was part of Four Sons. Pretty good pizza. If you know, then you know. We're passing Frankfurt Ave. And unfortunately, it looks like I'm gonna hit the dreaded block that I did not want to hit. We're passing Collins. All this is new on our left, that corner property. Then the original ones, you can tell they're original because they look like the rest of the homes in Philly. We're at Trenton and Cumberland. We have St. Michael's Church directly in front of us on our left-hand side. If we cross over Trenton Ave, we will be in pop quiz. I'll give you 5 seconds to answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's Old Richmond. Not to be confused with Port Richmond. Port Richmond is after Lehigh Avenue. If we head about 2-3 minutes in front of us, we'll be in Fishtown, which is now one of Philadelphia's trendier hipster neighborhoods. I'm not too pleased with this block. I hear many squeaking bushings. This vehicle had no squeaks or nothing, man. Now it's like I got a whole orchestra. I got a bunch of mice under the hood. Look at Nebraska tags on my left. Check out that vehicle on my left, that Ford Explorer, and Connecticut tags are on my right. Whoa. What are the odds, ladies and gentlemen? Connecticut and Nebraska. We got a chance to visit both those areas. So this is going to take us straight to Frankfurt. We got new property being built on our right. Now, remember I was telling you guys earlier that as we continue to travel south on East Kensington, we will then see more gentrification, more new properties in abundance. You're going to begin to see a lot more of that. There's a vehicle coming on my left-hand side, so I have to be very cautious and thoughtful. So let me allow this Hillcrest Farms box truck. Dude, you're texting. Look forward, dude. No way. Visit www.hillcrestdairy.com to make a complaint about his text. Say no. I'm kidding. But seriously, like, he should not be texting operating that gigantic machine. Used improperly, that gigantic machine can be considered a weapon. Check out that Philadelphia Brewing Company on my right-hand side. I can make a left here, but guess what? I'm going to skip it, guys. Please don't hate me because you hate me. I mean, please don't hate me because I didn't go there. Check out that piggy boiler. You see how they painted that boiler on my right to look like a pig? These are all new buildings on my right and a new building on my left. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys, about not going left, but that's just because it's going to take me back to Trenton Ave, and I don't want to go through all them bumps again. This building on my left is new. It used to be, see, they call it the Fishtown Flatiron. No problem, sir. Gentleman walking his dog gave me the peace sign. Dogs have the right of way. Then pedestrians have the right of way right after dogs. Y'all see how I prioritize dogs first. All right. I think we shall make this. Go ahead, ma'am. You're more than welcome to go. This whole little circular thing that we got going on right here. Ma'am, I didn't say you can go. I said the first lady can go. The blue kid just helped herself in. Go ahead, sir. You're more than welcome to cross. This building on my right is new. This is a new property that was built on a used car dealership lot. We have this Eagle One Federal Credit Union on the first floor on the left, and then you got luxury apartments up top on my left-hand side. Now, I've covered this area as recent as about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks. I focused on the lower half of East Kensington, hence why I said I'm not going to go too deep into the lower half of East Kensington. I will be making a right. Let me show you guys this area right here, because on that first portion, I never got a chance to show you guys this block. There is a brewing company on this block. There's a lot of outdoor eateries and stuff. This block wasn't always like that. As you can see, they're working on a building on our right. Now this is like the trendy, hip area to hang out on a Friday, Saturday night. You come through this block, there's lights out. Look at Commonwealth ciders. So there you go. They probably make cider, like apple cider. There's a brewing, see that big tank on our right? A brewing company. Outdoor tables on our right. And here on our left, there's a bunch of outdoor tables. Looks really, really appealing. It looks nice. They pressure wash a lot of the original brickwork to make it look, you know, what is the term that I'm looking for? Charming. Those buildings in front of us are new. Those 3-story buildings, they're new. Let's make this right. It's going to take us right back out to Frankfurt. But that's perfectly fine. Look at that Pinto. Is that a Pinto on my right-hand side? The Lost Bar on our left-hand side. The building right here next to this church is new. We're going to turn left, and you're going to see some trendy young individuals walking on the right-hand side. That building on my right next to the church is new. Thunderberg Salvage, 9 to 7 every day. So this is like some sort of fancy thrift store right next to that church, or outside of the church. Right now we're traveling northbound on Frankfurt Ave. I think I'm gonna do some northbound, southbound, since we already did some westbound, eastbound. So we're passing Cumberland. This is where Four Sons used to be at on my left. Now it's ogpizzeria.com. What? Pizza by the slice? So they ended up turning it into another pizzeria. I guess it makes sense. Hold on, side note. This Quickie Mart on here on my left, it went through, like, I believe, a few owners. The original owners don't own it no more, but there's been a stabbing and a few situations out front of this Quick Stop. Yo, I guess it makes sense that quote-unquote OG pizzeria bought the old Four Sons building because it was already decked out for pizza. You know, it had all the ovens and all that stuff. These are new buildings on my left. This was just lots. That gigantic building on my right was new. This is the Steak Shake, Fiore Steak Shake spot. Milkshakes and all that stuff. We're passing Huntington. This is the block where that 18-wheeler was trying to turn. Yeah, it didn't work out. Yo, he's still over there. I literally just looked up the block and he's still over there. So I don't know how he got this far. Oh, he probably came from Trenton Ave. Trenton Ave is right around the corner and it's a big wide street. He probably made a turn without paying attention to his GPS. Mr. Contractor. I came here once to see if they could make a small one-story garage. They quoted me $35,000. This was back in 2013. We have a gas station on our left, U.S. gas station, $3.55 per gallon. We have Sunoco gas station on our right-hand side, $3.49 per gallon. You see those tow trucks on our right? There was a show here in Philly called Tow Truck Wars. I actually knew the producers and the director who shot the series for A&E. I don't think it lasted long, but there was a time. So right in front of us, so on our right, those are the Kensington courts. Those properties are located in Upper Kensington, aka North Kensington, 2 minutes away from the crisis zone. Let's make this left. We can't cross over because then we'll be in traditional Kensington. We will no longer be in what's considered East Kensington. That's a different neighborhood, different boundary. Although right next to each other, sistering each other, different neighborhoods. So we're gonna focus on the eastern side. I already covered that side dozens of times. I think I can say dozens of times for that side. Alrighty then. So we're at Emerald and Lehigh. We're traveling westbound on Lehigh. On our left, we have the famous Italian icy spot. You get like water ice. Water ice. You can get Italian ices from on my left-hand side. What is a water ice? A water ice. Man, I'm gonna say water. What is a water ice? It's like think of like a cross between a slushy and a snow cone. There you go. Kind of like a cross between that. Soft serve. All right, let's make this left-hand turn on Kensington Ave. If we cross over, we'll be in West Kensington, so we don't want to do that. This spot on my left, you see this restaurant with the green awning? It's called 1 Pound Cheesesteak. They're the only place in the city, I don't know of any other place in the city that sells 2-foot-long cheesesteaks. 2-foot-long cheesesteaks. They sell wings and all of that other stuff and, you know, French fries and whatnot. But they're most notable for their 2-foot cheesesteaks. Back then, when I used to eat from there, I don't eat from there anymore. I haven't ate from there in probably 8 years. Back then, when I used to eat from there, they were $10 for a 2-foot cheesesteak. So that's not bad. I mean, $10 will get you 2 feet. People used to buy like 2 of them for $20 and feed the family. Slice it up into a bunch of little pieces, and everybody had like a little 3-4 inch piece. And they came with a lot of filling, a lot of ingredients. They might have been under-seasoned for some people's taste or chewy for my taste. I kind of grew out of the chewiness because I like my stuff well done, but sometimes when you tell a restaurant well done, you can tell it to them 10 different times in 50 different languages and they still won't serve you your food well done. Happened to me plenty of times. All right, we're back where we started at, but now this is gonna get a little tricky because some of these blocks run the same way. Y'all didn't actually get a chance to see this block right here, Oakdale. Y'all didn't get a chance to see Albert. Harold right here, I might be able to make a left here. I mean, yeah, that block over here on my left is a lot of potholes. I can't show y'all Harold because I forgot that they're doing work on it. Are they? Oh, they opened it up? Bet. We're here. Oh, the next block is closed though. We're on Harold. Look at this tents on our right, y'all. Check it out. So this corner is also infamous for the women for hire that stand out here on that same corner where those tents are at. Depending on what day of the week, what time of the year, you may see a young woman that will be willing to escort you to your next party, wherever that may be. I can't promise you she would be the most presentable, but she'll keep you company. We have a brand new property. Oh my gosh, I look at these roads and I dread it. I dread these roads. What's up, man? I'm about to start a GoFundMe. Y'all trying to chip in so I can get like a monster truck? Yo, what's up? A matter of fact, forget a monster truck. Like, I'll settle for a little S10. What's up? Y'all trying to cop me a little $1,500 S10? Look at it. What I got? I got over 50,000 plus subs. If everybody donates $1, that's 50,000. Damn, I think I can buy a building. It's like, no. But if a quarter of y'all donate $1, or if 50,000 people donate a quarter, man, I think I'll have enough to buy a little pickup truck that I could leave at stock height. I could pick up scrap while I'm doing virtual tours. They're like, Tune, you got all types of intentions, don't you? You got all these hidden intentions. Nah, no, I don't. No, I don't. We're at Jasper and Albert. I'm gonna go forward. Look at new properties on my right-hand side, though. Check that out. 2637 Jasper, 2639 Jasper, brand new. And this next one on my right, which is 2647 Jasper, brand new. Let's make this left on the 1800 block of Oakdale. Let me take a little quick peek. Please don't have no hidden potholes that I don't want to go through. All right, I'm here. I have no choice. Once I'm here, I'm here. I see a pothole already. Jersey tag right here on my right-hand side, and that BMW next to these brand new houses. Check it out. 1845 is new, 1843 is new, and 1841 is new. And there's another BMW right in front of it. So I'll be completely honest with y'all. And that BMW's from California. You see them tags right there, am I right? From California, baby. So something's telling me, like, you know, that California individual, and there's a new house over here on my left they're working on. That California individual, I'm sure, was paying a whole lot more rent in California. And they probably came down here because, you know, it was cheaper for them. And if you go to work and you run your business and you come home and you stay in your beautiful property and you repeat, recycle, rinse, repeat, recycle, you do it every day, you have no reason to worry about that nonsense that's going on around the corner. You might have to drive through it, but they drive through Skid Row. Food for thought. And if you haven't seen Skid Row in California, if you think Kensington is bad, Skid Row is about 5-6 times the size of what's going on here in Kensington. So, just the food for thought. Another Jersey tag over here on our left. So this is the Catholic Social Services Archdiocese of Philadelphia. It's a community center, visitation homes and all that stuff. Hamada. I think I'm gonna go right, just because I don't want to be super duper repetitive. Maybe we might have to start working our way to some of the little tinier blocks. Those little tinier blocks can be sketchy though, just because of potholes and things like that. So you'll see tents on my left-hand side. Right up the block on our left-hand side, you see the cars driving by them. There's tents right next to that U-Haul building. This is at the intersection of Kensington Ave and Lehigh Ave. This is where East Kensington to our right meets West Kensington to our left meets Upper Kensington, or traditional Kensington, in front of us. Now, the reason why I keep referring to it like that is because it's just called Kensington. The area is called Kensington, right? But there's different divisions, different neighborhoods that are bounded by different lines. And when you, like, let's say, for example, you refer to Citizens App. When Citizens App refers to a crime in this part of Kensington in front of us, they always refer to it as Upper Kensington. So I kind of got to, like, be specific about those details. And Upper Kensington hasn't received much gentrification. The closest thing that they got is probably these Kensington courts right here on my left-hand side, right up the block, which I saw them listed in Marketplace. And you know what's priceless? They listed them as being a part of Old Kensington and Fishtown. Bro, y'all way off. Whatever real estate trickery agent that guy or man was pulling to try to get people to buy those properties in Kensington courts, they're way off, because Old Kensington is not here, not even next to here. It's way past North Square. That's by Cecil B. Moore. Cecil B. Moore down to Girard Avenue, and definitely not Fishtown. Fishtown is way down there to our right-hand side too. So I don't know if they were an educated real estate agent or if they did it on purpose to try to, you know, because if you tell people we want $400,000 or $500,000 for these properties, let's make this right-hand turn on Coral. And see those on my left? But many of them sold. Like, don't get it twisted. Many of them sold. There's a dude painting on my right-hand side. Many of them sold for anywhere from $380 to, I believe, like $440. Yeah, and with taxes and everything, you're probably spending like $400,000+ for them properties. Yeah, speaking of the tow trucks, I don't think I finished that tow truck subject matter. The tow truck wars, somebody was hit right here on this corner on my left. That's what made me think of the whole tow truck thing. So, tow truck, the tow truck occupation started becoming very violent. And most tow truck owners, I mean, I think that's in any state, because to be towing someone's car, especially if you're like a repo guy, is a dangerous job. So you gotta like have a firearm on you. But most North Philly tow truck operators are carrying. Just know that. And I think that happened on occasion where a tow truck driver ran someone over out of anger, like a road rage situation. And I think there was another situation where the tow truck driver shot at somebody. So yeah. Brand new building on our right. So we're gonna take this down a bit more, unless I can take you through another side block, westbound, eastbound, you haven't seen yet. Matter of fact, we're coming up to Hazard Street. I don't think I showed you this part of Hazard just yet. No, we did not. We did not cover this part of Hazard just yet. I've covered it before in the past, but it's a new year, baby. So let's make this right-hand turn on the 2000 block of East Hazard. Now, to my knowledge, based on word of mouth, because I was alive then, but I don't think I was conscious enough as a youngster to pay attention to ethnicities or the racial divide. But when you would cross over the L or the Kensington Avenue, it cuts over the front street. When you would cross over that blue line train, that above ground track, new properties on my right, new properties on my left. Back in the day, in the 70s, 80s, and I think early 90s, I think in the early 90s is when the neighborhood started to change, where it was more diverse. But back in the day, this was a predominantly white American portion of Kensington. When you would cross over West Kensington, that's when you would get to the Hispanics and Black Americans. New properties on our left. But nowadays, it's pretty fairly mixed. Now there's Hispanics on this side, Black Americans on this side, Asians on this side. I won't be surprised if there's like Arabics or people from the Middle East or Palestinians and stuff on this side, and so on. Now this side is more culturally diverse than it was 25 years ago. I was told stories that once you would cross the L, if you were a minority, you would get chased back over. Those two properties on my left are brand new. We're on the 1900 block of Hazard, entering the 1800 block of Hazard. I believe this is Jasper. 2552 Jasper Street, Philadelphia, PA, on my left-hand side, if you guys want to check it out and Google it to see what it's worth. See? This block has a lot of original properties. You can see it. Most of them are still standing. Some of them have stucco on the front. Some of them, they painted the bricks. Some of them, they brick pointed the bricks. They repointed them or pressure washed them. Some of them just left them original, peeling and everything. We're driving straight towards Kim's Haircut for Men and Children, Alex Grocery Store, which is an Asian market. It literally says Asian market right under Alex Grocery Store. They sell candy, fruit, chips, soda, vegetables, and more. Fior Pizza, check that out. So Fior Pizza not only has Steak Shake around the corner on Frankfurt, but it looks like they just opened up that pizzeria, because I don't recall that pizzeria being there. They must have just opened that within the last, I would say, year or two, roughly guessing. Kim's Hair Salon on the right, Kim's Video and Gift, Kim's Nail Salon, and more. All right, we're gonna take this down. We can take this down a little further, because as long as we stay on the left side, we'll still be in East Kensington. So we already made a left here. I don't know if you recall this black tire shop on my right. New and used tires. I don't know how the tire business works in your town or in your city, because I know some cities are more strict when it comes to tires. When it comes to used tires and stuff, like you won't be able to pass an inspection if you have below a certain tread on your tire. But here in Philly, it's a lot more lenient. Here, to my knowledge, like there's many places that you can still get your vehicle inspected despite your tires not being in the best of shape. Those used tire shops sell reasonably good tires for anywhere from 25, 35, 45 bucks, depending on the size of the tire that you need. Check it out, they're doing work right under the L. You see that big tarp? Yeah, they began that about, I would say, a week ago. About a week ago, yeah, about a week ago, guys. About a week ago, they put that whole tarp. Yeah, they put the whole tarp system up. This building on my right is new too. They've been doing a lot of building over here, especially in the lower portion of East Kensington. We haven't even really spent too much time in the lower portion of East Kensington, which is right next to the Fishtown portion of the city, Fishtown neighborhood. We're at Jasper and Haggart, new building on our left, 2443 Jasper Street, Philadelphia, PA is new. On our left, we got some more new buildings, 1905, 1909, 1911, and 1913, and 1915. And on our right, 1916, 1910, and so on. And these gigantic buildings on our right, they're all new. Those big, massive buildings, you can see that there's still gates around them. Oh, there's a canine dog with a muzzle on my left-hand side. We're approaching one of the old annex buildings to Kensington. I don't know if it's still part of Kensington High School, but to my knowledge, this was one of the annex buildings. They're doing building on our right hand side. Wow, there was a building there for years that used to have graffiti on, and they used to always bomb that wall from corner to corner. They used to get permission. They didn't do it illegally, but they used to get permission and do it legally. And they knocked it down. Wow, there was so much art. You can still see a penguin on my right, one of the paintings. Wow, that is crazy. Amazing. 2435 on my right hand side on the corner, we're on Haggart. That is a new property. That wasn't always there. That was probably made like 8 years ago, but it wasn't there many years ago, like 15 years ago. There used to be a bar over here on my left hand side. I had a buddy that lived on this block. He was from West Trinidad and Tobago. He was Indian. That's what he considered himself, West Indian, I believe. And this is Haggart playground on our right. He lived right here on my left. His house was shot up before, but I went to high school with him. He was a cool dude. That's how I recall he sold. He owned like 2 homes in West Kensington, not West Kensington, in, would that be considered that? Because it was before B Street, so it was right next to Kensington, but it was Fairhill neighborhood, right next to A and Cambria, A in Indiana, where all that nonsense is going on at. Well, he sold off his properties a couple years ago, and he moved to Florida. He told me that he bought a house for $25,000 in Florida, nice little home. These are new properties on our left. We came from this little block on our right. That's where the pub and the little brewery. This is the Pinto that we driving up on. I'm gonna make a right, and I'm gonna just take it down to lower East Kensington. So, yeah, he moved away to Florida for a couple years, and he ended up popping back up here in the Philadelphia area. I think I've seen him like once or twice since then. But yeah, he was a good buddy. He had an interesting name, Dio de Cananan. I think that was his last name. Not as interesting as my other buddy's name. I had an Arabic buddy's name. His name was Nabras Muhammad Al-Mashadani. I would never forget his name. His pop was a dentist. His pop actually owned a crib over here coming up in Fishtown. My boy's pop was a dentist, right? My boy used to arrive to first period late all of the time. Fashionably late, like 9:15. We was in high school. You know, high school, I think we started at like 7:45. I swear he always arrived late. When I mean late, I mean he always walked, and I think it was Mick McPherson. I think that was the math teacher's name, and she didn't like it. She didn't like that this boy used to always, and he was tall, slinky. He was probably like one of the tallest students, like 6'1", 6'2". And he would always arrive late. This is Arizona Street. Let me make this right on Arizona Street. 2100 block of Arizona. Delaware tags to our left, North Carolina tags to our right. You'll see a lot of that in East Kensington. In East Kensington, you'll see a lot of foreign tags. And it's not because of the holidays. It's not because of any special time of the year. It's because Philadelphia welcomes and has been welcoming in new residents annually, monthly, daily, weekly. We're passing Arizona tags on my right. That Jeep with the roof rack with the tire in it, the tags say Arizona. And they're living in that new complex. So that goes to show you, they moved. I got a chance to visit Arizona. That was beautiful. Arizona is like otherworldly. I recommend it to everyone and anyone to at least visit the Four Corners once in your life. And then preferably head west to Arizona and go to like the northeastern portion of Arizona with all the red mountains and all that stuff. Mind-blowing. So check her out. She looks like she's from a magazine. Remember I was telling y'all this is like the trendier area to be in? So this part of Kensington is a lot of what they call hipsters, or I think other people have terms for them. I don't like to utilize this term because it sounds, I just don't like to connect this term with the people that are moving in, but there is a term that gets thrown around often called yuppie. Go ahead, sir. You're more than welcome to cross. That term gets thrown around often. They say, yuppies are moving into our neighborhood and taking over. Like, I think that term is whack. Whoever coined it, you need to give me my change back. Saying, that was a dumb joke. I tend to make dumb jokes often and then I laugh at them right after. That was another dumb joke. On our right-hand side, they're making more properties. So I think you guys are getting the gist of it. And this isn't even the lowest portion of East Kensington. It gets lower. Over here on my left-hand side, the more deep we go in, the more properties you guys are going to be seeing be made in the area. There's a little coffee part on my right, corner store on my left. All in all, East Kensington's a pretty good neighborhood. There's no real solicitation. There's no real people hanging on corners, even in the summertime. Trash is kind of hard to maintain when people throw stuff out the window. So, the neighborhood can maintain it as best as they can, and then somebody would drive by and throw something out the window. So you can't hold them accountable for too much trash. We're at York and Emerald. But these are the type of people that, they're out of towners. They'll come and take care of the neighborhood better than the people who are born and raised here. That's sad enough to say. I hate to say it that way, but I've seen it. Florida tags on my left. I've seen it. I've witnessed it several dozen times where somebody will come, Ohio tags on my left. Somebody will come, Connecticut tags on my right. They'll come from out of state. They'll attend the community meetings. They'll sweep up the front of the property. They'll be friendly enough to give you a greetings card or a greeting card, Maryland on my left, with their family portrait on it for the holidays. I'm telling you, I know that from firsthand perspective. That's how friendly they are, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's actually very admirable, very pleasing. That's a nice gesture, This is the city of brotherly love, but sad enough to say, there's not much love going around from the original residents. We have a hard skin. We're like New Yorkers. We're like, but that's the thing is, we're not exactly like New Yorkers. I'm saying like with our attitude and with our energy, Sometimes we got to reserve our energy, and we don't know who's being nice and who's being, fake. That used to be a strip club right there. Budget Mobile, right there in the corner. You see this Budget Mobile? They shot the Transformers flick there, one of them. And I've taken you guys under this L plenty of times, walking and driving. Plenty of times. I used to go under this avenue when I was a kid to go shopping, as well as Kensington and Allegheny, but this was the one that was more accessible to me. Please excuse me while I take a sip of this high quality H2O. This pawn shop over here on my left. I'm gonna make a left coming here. We could have went left up Jasper. It would have took us up Jasper. Went straight. The Rocky Gym's right off the block. We're not gonna go check that out again. There's a bunch of new buildings on this block here. And so on. It continues, ladies and gentlemen, it continues. And there's more new properties here. New York tags on my left. Yeah, I remember I did that like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. Wow, we had some, what's that, like Vermont or New Hampshire tags on my right. Indiana, thank you very much. Oh, me peeped it. Indiana tags, they were green and white. So that goes to show you, like, y'all be thinking that I be fibbing. People be thinking I be fibbing. I don't know why these people want to move here. The only thing that I could think of is it's cheaper. It's cheaper, and people, if you come from the country, not everybody that comes from the country, because I know some of you guys appreciate the country life. Some people are like, Toon, I wouldn't trade my country life for nothing. For $1 million, you can't pay me to live in that neighborhood. Some people, these are young people that are coming here. They want access to cafes. They want access to bars, to restaurants. They want access to fun places, to historical museums, and we're from where we're at right now, we're 10 minutes away from City Hall. Like, we're relatively close, depending on traffic, of course. We're near the Art Museum. We're near 95, which will take you south to Florida, north to Maine. You know what I mean? We're 5 minutes away from 95, 5 minutes or less. So it's about convenience. That's what I'm thinking, and cost. I'm sure these people were probably paying a lot. And when you're a young person and these are probably people in their late 20s, early 30s, maybe early 40s that spent most of their life in silence. They spend most of their life in a quiet area, and now they want that ambience. You know, they want the city life, and the city life may not be for everyone, but obviously it's for some people, and those people are moving here. So, you know, even if it's for a temporary move for work and then in 5 years they relocate, or if it's for a permanent move, this is East Kensington.